Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Hades 2. Here is our Arcana setup for the day. I'm now realizing I'm a bit of a goofball and said I was going to do a Poseidon run, but chose Hera's keepsakes. We are now set up. We're going to be taking the aspect of Melinoe on the torches, and we're going to go for a 25 Fear Underworld run with our first ever Vow of Rivals 4 for the Underworld.
I'll make this count.
I suspect we've already seen what Phase 3 of Chronos is like from the completion of our story path, or like the main story, but we've never actually gotten to fight him legitimately, so this is going to be tough, I imagine.
I know well that impressive glimmer of the vivid sea that I bestow to you, my niece. Although my seas are quite as clear and blue, you have yourself a sample of the very best.
So, given how my overworld, or my underworld rather, runs tend to go, I'm going to get very sweaty against the bosses, I imagine. But we will see how this goes, I suppose. And hopefully it won't be too terrifying early on. I think Poseidon is a pretty strong god, but you really have to build around him. And with that in mind, we're going to be hunting for two gods in particular here. Flux? Kiwi, okay, we can, what was it, aspect of Nyx. We can finally get Nyx's aspect on the black coat. That's exciting.
Some of my children residing in your crossroads. We have not always interacted in the most productive way. I once thought this failing was solely mine, but I see the pattern frequently. A curse of sorts our families share.
Even a single child seems very difficult to rear. I could not have been an easy one for all my moods. I scarce imagine how it must have been for you with Nemesis or Eris.
Especially Eris.
Amongst others, yes. I was the constant in most of my children's lives. Yet each has been a mystery. May Queen Persephone's relationship with you not be as tenuous as so many of mine.
It seems not tenuous, but a degree distant considering how infrequently we see each other.
Perhaps you could visit your children more often, smooth things over.
My children tend to need their space, but as I learned with Chaos, we have eternity to reconvene if we so desire.
I guess that's
Something
one benefit.
to look forward to.
That's a benefit offered to the immortal, I suppose. Not so easy when you have a finite lifespan.
I sense a difference now within the underworld's depths, yet the environment itself is much the same. Those who oppose you still oppose you, so that you may now retrace some of your steps. This shall result in different outcomes, certainly.
I think they're making reference to the fact that we can turn back time and see the alternate ending or something, although I think we technically got to see the true ending. Anyway, let's see. More gold, more faster Omega moves, or... I think I'll take the magic regen here, because, well, I don't know. I want this one, but I'm going to take a lot of damage just by nature of how... This runs the risk of me taking a lot of damage because I just passively use my Omega attack by holding down the attack button. I don't think I can reliably do this, but this is the best option. I don't really need magic for this build, so I guess I'll take a Mega move faster. We can definitely clear this in 120 seconds. That should not be that difficult, actually. And getting a palm on the attack is pretty solid for us, as we're going to be depending on Poseidon's splash damage. Oh, right, so I was going to say, so the build is going to depend on two, obviously Poseidon being our core god, and then what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get Hestia for her duo with Poseidon, as well as Ares for his duo with Poseidon. We'll want probably Smolder Ring and Grizzly Gain, because if we can get Grizzly Gain, we'll get Plasma from Ares, which will boost our attack rate, or our attack speed rather, which will certainly boost our DPS since we're depending on hitting quickly and fast. We're running Rocky and Aspect of Melinoe together because they both give crit chance, so we have, I think, a 12% crit chance on attack and special, which adds up to being a lot of extra damage very quickly. Even if the base damage on these weapons aren't that great, every time we're doing triple damage with a crit, plus if we do get some decent Ares boons, we can potentially get even more from that. I almost am enticed to take this extra Chaos Gate. I'll definitely take the money, because I don't mind giving up that HP right now. Let's...
What do we have in here?
I don't want to lock myself out of a second boon, potentially. Because we haven't been offered the mid shop yet, so I'd rather have the option of seeing that. I think I'll skip the extra Chaos Gate for now. The issue with Chaos in this game in particular is they feel a lot weaker than they did in Hades 1. They just have a lot more bad options, and even their good options, it's just hard to roll them because you only get 3 rolls, right? We definitely need to get Poseidon's tier 2 boon as soon as possible so we can start applying Froth on our attack. Once we do that, we're going to be hitting very hard very quickly. I really do want to see Arachne. We have not seen Arachne in a long time, but I think we need early game damage, especially going into Vow of Rivals Hecate, so I will prioritize. We got unlucky with a mystery boon. We do see Hestia there, though, so that's one good thing. I think another palm on the attack really would be good for us, but I need to be conservative with my money. I'm going to take the HP. I think it's more important.
Well, well.
Aphrodite isn't great.
Were you expecting someone far less beautiful, or did you somehow know it was me? Perhaps you could hear my heart beating all the way from where you are.
Honestly, Aphrodite is an amazing support god for our build, so I'll happily take that. Glamour Gain I don't want, Special I don't want, because we need to save that for either Hestia or I suppose Ares, but Shameless Attitude, we're never going to say no to an epic tier Shameless Attitude. A guaranteed 9% more damage, plus another 9% on top of that, should we be lucky. And here's Hestia. So now we just need to get lock in Ares, and we will have all of our core gods that will really help this build come online very quickly. So anyway, today we are going to talk about, well, let me briefly just mention, I am still kind of down my left eye.
Remember that.
More on that in a second.
So, you're a bit of a witch, are you? Well, not I. Stuck with this family already, don't see why I'd want another one. But I understand the appeal, I suppose. Plenty of candles and fire to it, isn't there?
All right, special. I could very gladly take Hestia's special. I want Grizzly Gain, so I don't mind taking Hestia's special here. I think it's pretty solid for us. Cardio Gain is not bad either, to be clear. But we want Grizzly Gain for the attack speed it can give, potentially. So yeah, I'll take special here. I'm very happy with her special, I believe. Let me just... No, I know that one is fine. I think we should be fine here. I just don't want to accidentally lock myself out of the duos I'm hunting for. Anyway, so my left eye, I have a kind of chronic dry eye sort of condition that is most prone to happening overnight. And when I do have these episodes of dry eye, they severely impair my vision for longer than I am strictly comfortable for, usually a couple days. And it's not a severe visual impairment, but everything is much blurrier, and it makes it much harder to read with the eye. So my left side of my left-sided vision is definitely reduced. So if things come and attack me from the left side of the screen, I might honestly take the hit by accident because I can't react to it fast enough or I can't see it clearly. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I've kind of gotten used to this, and my reaction time with these games seems to not be too terribly affected. We'll take another Poseidon, sure. Hopefully we get your tier 2 here, Popo. Let's see, your special, your dash, and your gain. None of these are really what I want, so I'm going to roll here and hopefully get us tier 2.
Why not?
Tidal Ring, High Surf. None of these are great. I'll take High Surf, I guess, even though I really don't want to prime magic right now. I don't have a great way of regaining magic reliably. It is what it is. I didn't want to lock out core boons here. But yeah, so my vision is impaired in the left eye a little bit. I'll manage. I always manage. Hi there, Nem.
You're late. Already took care of things here, though you'll still get your share, I'm sure.
If you insist on trying to hunt Kronos down, why don't we work at it together at least?
You want your nemesis to help you? That's not how nemesises work.
Can't be
Nemesis.
seen with you and don't need your help besides. But I get you need mine, so here, take this. And you never saw me, got it?
We'll gladly take your pity rewards. Oh, it's just HP. I didn't need that. I was full HP, you jerk. Max magic wouldn't hurt, but I'm gonna go for the HP. I think it's more important. CNM. Nice try, but you're not getting my goodies. Anyway, so that's enough of a preface on the situation with my health. Let's talk about the things I actually want to talk about, which, as if you watched the previous episode, you are aware, is construction in RuneScape 3. So quickly just prefacing, if I say RuneScape, I'm likely going to be referring to RuneScape 3. If I say RuneScape 3, obviously I'm referring to RuneScape 3. And if I say old school, that's when I mean the classic version of RuneScape 3, the 07 version of RuneScape 3, not RuneScape 3, the classic version of RuneScape, old school RuneScape, the 07 version of RuneScape. And I'll try and be clear when I am talking about old school in particular, but you can probably assume I'm largely talking about RuneScape 3 through the rest of this episode. I don't want Apollo here. I don't want to lock in a fourth god, so we'll save our money here. I will probably have to begin the construction ramble after this fight, because I know I'm going to be sweaty here.
Look upon the oath of the unseen night after night, but do you understand as yet the lesson it imparts?
We choose our own battles, we choose to make things more difficult for ourselves, and when we rise to the occasion, it is a dopamine rush like no other.
Fear manifests at night. Either we give in to that fear, or we become its cause.
I am terrifying. Have you seen my Lorenz?
Either give in to fear or become its cause. Your words, not mine, though I concur with them. Let us become that fear for one another once again.
So I don't have Froth yet, so I cannot reliably get Origination here for extra damage, but I can apply Scorch as often as I can try, and that will certainly help our damage a fair bit. So keep that on her, keep her in my cast so she's a little bit slow, and I can more easily navigate her damage. Oh good, we found the real one immediately. Oh, wow, we are critting for 312. So far, so good. I'm not really worried about phase 1. Honestly, you know what? I have to say, I've gotten a lot more consistent at dealing with Battle of Rivals Hecate. She's not nearly as bad as she once was. My first time against Battle of Rivals Hecate was so scary. Main issue is just her clones are kind of annoying to find the real one. Not impossible, though. And I assume... I think it's this middle one? No, it's not. It's you. Oh, hello. Yeah, like, actually, her attack patterns are fairly predictable, and I think until she gets attack speed up, she's not nearly as terrifying as I thought she was. Alright, here's phase number 2, or 3? I guess phase 3, yeah. Alright, can I dodge all of this? I think I can. Oh my goodness, whoa, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. Whoa, I got overwhelmed. Okay, we're good. I took a couple hits, but honestly, if that's the worst of it, and we're still well above our threshold for, what is it? Spiritual Affirmation? For the damage up? We're doing fine. We are so fine here. One more witch, and there we go. Oh, no, one more witch. All right. That came from the left here, so you must be on our left. It's pretty cool that they actually did a little bit of a sound design thing to tell you where... Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. Who is the real one? I think it's you. You? It is you. You're the middle one. Heck 'em up, Rocky. I have to keep my distance a little bit here just to play it safe. Trying to get Scorch on her wherever I can, and I can do that by dashing through her. There's the real one, okay. It's definitely a slow fight. I need to be mindful of time. But honestly, like, that was just shy of or just over 5 minutes, so even on the highest...
Well fought. And may the fates be generous to you in your descent.
So assuming I don't take Zacharias and I'm on Vow of Time,
I passed the test.
I could pretty reliably clear her in sub 5 minutes, I think, with my better weapons.
Just in time.
Grandfather.
If I'm just in time, then you're, I don't know, what's the alternative first name to in time? We wanted Ares? Yeah, we want Ares. You know, we might actually rank up his keepsake, which means we could double dip into it if we get lucky this run. But definitely want Ares for your duo. Again, we're looking for Grizzly Gain. We'll gladly take his dash or his cast as an alternative, but Gain would be the best for this silly build I have in mind.
Have you made contact with Prometheus after everything that's happened with us? He and I never really got along, though I started to sense he wasn't really on your side.
He's a tsundere. I'm glad he found a partner in life.
He is intelligent, that one. Perhaps even too much for his own good. I regret that you were forced to come to blows, but he and I are no longer in touch. To keep conditions closer to the way they were.
He has navigated this situation rather carefully for all the trouble he's caused the gods. I suppose that all makes sense if he truly could anticipate every outcome.
That sounds like the Prometheus I know.
That's our Prometheus. Alright, sacrifice spoons are more likely. Don't need that. Those would be decent for a shop, 30% less, but I think most of the things that I would buy from the shop, even if they were 30% cheaper, would not make up for the 80 gold cost to make that happen. All right, so we are officially going to jump into construction conversation until Scylla, where I will inevitably be sweating my booty off, because Scylla is still, I think right now for me, Scylla is genuinely the hardest boss in the game, barring Vow of Rivals 4 bosses that I just don't have a lot of experience with. But I think Scylla I really need practice with if I'm going to be able to reliably beat her Vow of Rivals version. She just seems very scary. So where am I going with today? So, well, I guess Ares first, of course.
Returned unto the underworld, my kin. Although I felt quite melancholy at the thought of our war drawing to a close, I am most pleased that the presence of Night Incarnate is more strongly felt again, as well it should.
All right, Sword Ring. We did not get his magic regen. Sword Ring is appealing here. It's a pretty decent base damage, but it's not, I mean, comparing it to like Smolder Ring or, I mean, basically Smolder Ring. Rapture Ring would actually be pretty decent from Aphrodite as well. So I think I will roll here and hopefully see his gain.
What I want.
Grizzly gain epic tier. Now that's what we're talking about. Striking foes with your weapon has a 20% chance to spill plasma, which restores 25 magic. Plasma grants 1% move speed and attack speed, or strike speed, so a special speed as well, when touched. And it does expire, but that attack speed means we're going to be attacking with Poseidon's base damage boosting attack boon more reliably, and that means more damage all around. It's a really good synergy for the build we're playing into, which is why I wanted it. And it is a prerequisite to his duo with Poseidon, Ares, the Ares Poseidon duo, so it's really all around great for us. Anyway, all right, so let's talk about construction. So RuneScape 3 has officially announced its 120 construction cap is coming out next week. Next week, Kiwi, which means I'm going to be sinking a lot of time and certainly in-game currency into that skill update. I did myself a favor and kind of read the tentative, like, they have not given us a lot of details. They showed us a brief glimpse in the teaser for next week's update of things to come, but we don't really have a lot of specifics yet. I think out of all of these, pardon me, sorry, the coffee is making me a little phlegmy. I'm going to go for the hammer here. They showed us a little bit of a teaser for what this update is to become, but the thing that they said was kind of the guiding sight for this is to do what they did to old school RuneScape's construction system, to make it a relevant skill again without making people go into an instance location and kind of avoid the overworld where they can interact with other players. Their goal is to increase the social nature of construction a little bit without taking away from things that already exist in the game. And the biggest thing they're focusing on is increased... Ooh, these are all really good. Inverted Blaze probably gives us the most damage, but I think attacking faster and moving faster is more fun. But Dividing Blaze is not bad either. I guess the question is, if they split, does the split attack trigger Poseidon's attack boon again? If it doesn't, it's not that great. I think I'll just take the baseline attack faster. Don't have to think too hard about what I want there. And we're getting an epic tier Ares, which is, or a mini boss Ares, which means the chances of getting his Poseidon duo is actually fairly on the table right now. All right, there's our grasp. Yeah, let's go for this Ares mini boss. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh, it's uh-oh.
King Vermin.
All right. Uh-oh shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as I am on top of my game with keeping my distance, and it's so easy to keep your distance when you're, oh gosh, never mind. Uh-oh, back off. The trick to uh-oh is you just dodge him back and forth across this gap, or fail your dash and get hit by him potentially. There we go. Wow, oh, I didn't even realize we were doing that much damage. Sheesh, we have a lot of damage already. All right, Ares, do we see your duo? We do not. Visceral impact here. After you take damage or foe is slain, you get plasma. I think because that synergizes so well with our build, I will take that, even if it really isn't like the most important boon in our build path.
Very well.
It's fun. Let's just take it for funsies. It reliably makes sure that we're always going to be gaining magic every time we kill an enemy, which I think is worth it. Anyway, so aside from just trying to not take away from pre-existing mechanics in the game, while simultaneously encouraging a kind of a more social aspect of a skill that's notoriously asocial, because it takes place in an instance separate from other people, until they brought about, what's it called?
I'll keep them busy for you.
Until they brought about the player-owned fort, or Fort Forensic, there we go. It was not a very social skill. The other big thing is just massively increasing the customization options and letting you have a lot more choice in where you place things. And this is probably the biggest difference between RuneScape 3 and Old School in terms of how they're kind of doing the construction skill, is that they're making RuneScape 3 way more constructible. In Old School, and in the original version of construction in RuneScape 3, one second, wow, we are so fast.
My latest boons by now. Got others I've been mulling, although lately nothing seems to stick. Likely you'd rather have something tried and true anyway.
Pressure points as always. Pressure points or Hunter's Mark, always.
From you, sister, I'll take whatever I can get. A bit of extra precision in my strikes often makes all the difference.
I'm not just all about precision here, am I? We gods get cast as one thing, and that's it. Father Zeus and his thunder, Uncle Poseidon and his water, Apollo and his... hair.
His magnificent hair. All right, lethal snare. I'm not building around casts, so I probably just. Although support fire would work really well with her. Support fire is never worth it, Kiwi. No matter which game you're playing, support fire is never worth it. It's only 10 damage. It does so little in the grand scheme of things, but it is fun. But I mean, look at this, Kiwi. We have, from Rocky, we have 1% crit, and then we have 10%. We are at 11% crit. Let's go to the 14% crit. Why not?
It's already within.
I did ask for pressure points after all. I'm gonna roll this and see if we get a god boon. If we don't, ooh, okay. Yeah, that was worth re-rolling. That was so worth re-rolling. Hermes would be cool to up our attack speed even further, but nah. All right, who's easier to deal with? Or who do we want? We can't get duos here. We could get Poseidon's Legendary eventually. I think, honestly, between these two, let's take Hestia because I want one of her core boons more than I want Poseidon's core boons. Smoldering, I will happily, very, very happily take. Snuff Candle really isn't bad here either, but I want to lock in core boons so that we're not offered those by the other gods, so that we have a better chance of seeing tier 2s and legendaries, or not legendaries, duos. Yeah, Smoldering it is.
Fired up.
You reject my blessing, niece? Well, then I'll just have to offer it to whomever else drifts by. Perhaps they'll appreciate it.
Say hi to Nem if she makes it this far, Poseidon. Anyway, so yeah, basically in old school RuneScape and the original versions of, or the original iteration of construction in RuneScape 3, you have set nodes where, oh my goodness, that was really quick. Hold on.
Now that's how I like to settle a dispute, using whichever impressionable creatures are around to make my dissatisfaction known.
Breaker Rush, Geyser Spout, Hydraulic Might. None of these are what we want. I could take his dash. I won't say no to his dash. I just don't. I feel like. Is there a better dash here? Honestly, not really. I guess it's fine. I don't think I want this. Let's roll and see what we get. Here.
What else?
Water Fitness. I am happy with Water Fitness. Ocean Swell isn't bad either if we had a reliable magic gain, which we do at this point. An extra 40 damage and another splash. Or just good survivability. I think for the sake of considering what we're heading into, I need survivability, so I'm going to take Water Fitness here, but I honestly would have otherwise taken the boon on offer there. Another major reward. Let's roll the palm again. If we get a boon, we'll take it. We do not. Let's go for HP. I want to be able to make sure I want to make sure that I survive Skilla, and that means I do have to play a little lame, a little safe here, just for safety's sake. Oh, right, that does damage. That's my mistake. I forget if we have Wayward Sun on or not, so I don't know if we're going to be regaining a ton of health in between rooms. I hope I feel like we don't have it. No matter. Our splash damage is really adding up, and we don't have any of the major boons that like massively boost its damage output yet. We're gonna scale very strong, I think. A Chaos Room into the mini boss. So I think we take this Chaos Gate because there's no punishment other than choosing a bad curse. It does drop us below Spiritual Affirmation, so I guess that's one downside here. All right, Chaos, what have you got?
Chaos, I heard your call.
Paralyzing Talent. For the next 4 encounters, you take damage, you are stunned, but afterwards you use 50% less magic. Man, it's a prophecy, so I want to take it, but that sounds really bad going into skill. That's going to get us killed. Prime Magic or Dash makes you lose magic. Afterwards, restore a bunch of magic. None of these are really good. I think, honestly, is it worth re-rolling here, though? I feel like I'm going to take this prophecy and deeply regret it.
Changed in me.
Like, we're going to have to play so flawless in a bullet hell sort of boss, and it's not... This is going to get us killed. I have probably just thrown the run to a degree. We definitely take the HP here. I feel like we have too many boons that the palm could hit, so I'm going to skip that. We'll take Hermes here. Winner's Circle, Travel Deal, Hasty Retreat. I mean, Hasty Retreat will get us survivability, especially because we can duo it with the boon from Hestia that gives us dodge chance based on if an enemy is scorched. So I think Hasty Retreat for survivability is the best choice here, especially considering we're going into Chaos Vow of Rivals, or not Chaos, Chronos Vow of Rivals with not a lot of experience knowing what we're about to face. All right, Kiwi, I have barely touched about construction, but here is Skilla with the Sirens and featuring...
This is the big break we've been waiting for. I told the gals we'd be back in the spotlight on the big stage in no time. But the bigger we get, the more detractors we'll get.
And you try to suffocate all your detractors as well as your fans? And if so, how will you keep accumulating more and more?
Humanity has a bad habit of overpopulating. She has plenty of fans in the future, I'm sure.
Oh, don't worry your pretty little head about that, lady. You've got
have bigger problems like our special guest, who happens to be good at suffocating multiple detractors all at once.
Hooray, tentacles. All right, so we've got Smoldering, so I should be able to do a lot of damage in a very short period of time. Like, we have already removed a tentacle. Awesome. Dropping Smoldering here sounds good. Okay, we did take a hit, but honestly, didn't take that much damage from it regardless. Let me out, let me out. Okay, oh gosh, there are too many things. Oh my gosh, that 6%, that 6-second stun is actually brutal. Okay, it's about as bad as I expected it to be, but that doesn't mean I couldn't have made a worse choice for a boss where you're just constantly fighting things that honestly do a fair bit of chip damage, but the issue is you get hit by one thing, you're gonna get hit by everything because you're stunned. I think oh, come on. There was no avoiding. I think I got hit by all of those. I hate these water jets so much. Like, that's the thing that makes me hate them. That's the roughest part of this boss fight, is just the water jets that spawn near Roxy, because I have to be close range to hit her under most circumstances, especially when she has her circle going, and those water jets don't do any damage, but they do stun you and push you out of the way. Oh, right. Oh, shoot. All right, so we've lost half our HP, and I'm dashing into more things. All right, we really need to get rid of Charybdis ASAP. I think, honestly, Jetty is zoning us really badly, but Roxy is our biggest problem. If I can just find a place to reliably stand where she can't hit us, that would be ideal. Gosh, rough. Okay, we've almost got her. I just need... Skilla, when she does this move, is really scary, so I'm going to just focus on letting her charge at me. Oh, we did get Roxy down. That's really good for us. Okay, she just does not want to launch her attack. There she goes. Okay, good. Oh, gosh. Okay, that's another tentacle down. Like, we do have good damage, which I think is the big thing to recognize here for our build that helps us have a decent chance of winning, is we just... in Hades in particular, a good offense is an excellent defense. If you kill things faster than they can kill you, you're in a good spot. And we are definitely able to do that with all these base damage ups on our Poseidon boons, as well as our... All right, I'm going to focus on dodging this for a second. I have my dash and my cast, so I use one. Peck her up, Rocky. You're doing great. Come on. Kill it, please. There we go. All right. And we're just going to drop all of our damage on her, and there she goes. And there she goes. And there she goes. Okay. So, not the cleanest fight by any metric, but definitely better than it's been in the past. Definitely a bit sweaty, and we did set ourselves up for failure with that Chaos Boon, so we took even more damage than we should have or would have otherwise.
Though bolstered by colossal Charybdis, Skilla and those monstrous songstresses from the Abyssal Sea yet prove unable to complete their deadly act.
In the end, a normal night for them.
Yeah, very true. But like these water jets right here are objectively the worst part of this fight for me, because I want to take out Roxy as quick as possible. That's always been the optimal strategy for me, because her big AoE zoning attacks limit my options, and you don't want to be unable to move around the map when you're dealing with all of the other projectiles. But these water jets just push you this way into things, especially when I'm running a Omega special on the torches, that when hit too much will explode and do a bunch of damage. It's tough. I need to learn kind of a strategy to optimize that fight. I think I've gotten much better at Hecate, and we don't have a lot of experience against Cerberus, so there's that. We did end up ranking up Ares' Keepsake here, which is awesome. I think for safety reasons, we're going to take Gorgon Amulet into the next floor, because Athena's boons here would be great just for an extra level of survivability. We could alternatively lock in Hestia's Keepsake and guarantee ourselves an encounter that would hopefully give us her duo with Poseidon. Does our attack already inflict froth? That's something I need to know. It does not. So we have not been offered Poseidon's tier 2 that causes his splash effects to inflict froth. And that's a little frustrating too, because we need froth for Hestia to even offer her duo with Poseidon. So that's a little frustrating. Hopefully we'll see some Poseidon boons, or at least roll into them. If not, yeah, we're trying to take Gorgon Amulet. I'll play it safe here. We have pretty solid damage, so there's at least that.
Big drop.
Okay, so they are making it so normally there are nodes that limit where you can build what kind of furniture and have to build very specifically that piece of furniture. They are removing that system. You can put any piece of furniture from any type of room in any other type of room. There is going to be so much more free access and customization and choice into making your house look the way you want it to look. We'll take this. Max Magic isn't that amazing, but an Ares boon is very good for our planned build, I suppose. The So it sounds really, that alone will be really fun. And I acknowledge in a lot of games where you get to build up your house or or decorate your space, I tend not to engage with those systems. So it's odd that I love a system as such so much in RuneScape 3 and Rune Old School for that matter too. It's a little bit atypical for me, you know, because when I'm playing a game where you have customization, I tend to just dump everything in one location. I guess RuneScape has the benefit of it having its bank space, so I already have a storage place to store things. Oh, we're already getting Athena. Okay, works for me. All right, let's get this Ares boon first.
Olympus, I accept this message.
And arterial spray. Your splash effects from Poseidon may hit 2 times at a 25% rate. That is a huge DPS up for us because that is where the core of our damage is coming from. And you know what? Athena, have a gift.
Your gesture is unnecessary. Warring mortals often make me offerings in hopes that I might guide them to victory. But you and I have a shared purpose, so I require no such incentives in our case.
This is no incentive, merely a way of saying thank you for accepting me and recognizing what potential I may have to aid our family in a time of need.
Righty.
This night is darker than so many others of late, and our foes appear emboldened. Some new trick of Kronos, or perhaps merely my imagination from fighting for so long.
Nope, it's my fault. I did this.
It isn't your imagination, but the will of Night herself, Lady Athena. And though the effect may seem to our detriment for now, we shall grow stronger for it, I assure you.
Such assurances mean little to me typically, cousin. But you know more about the darkness than I do. If this truly is the will of Night, and not the work of our enemy, then good.
Alright, Divine Dash would be really good for us. 2 seconds of no damage taken every 11 seconds is pretty amazing, though. Or a Death... I don't think I take Death Defiance. I will lose all of my magic, and I will lose Strength cards effect. So, between these two, they're both pretty solid options. I think this does give us... It works the same way as Divine Dash in Hades 1, so it does give us iframes. I'm gonna take Divine Dash.
Go with grace.
You can never go wrong with Divine Dash. Hades 1 has taught us that deeply. Like, made that a very clear lesson to be internalized, I suppose. I do wonder if we end up ranking up Gorgon Amulet if it will activate a second time. That would be pretty crazy if it did. I do also appreciate the little attention to detail that Arterial Spray, when it activates and causes that second splash effect to activate.
That should have done it.
It's blood colored, it's red colored. To fit the fact that it's kind of associated with Ares. Grab that HP, why not? Cool, we're back at full HP. Let's see. So at this point, I think we're mostly just prioritizing Poseidon boons if we can get offered them. And there is a mini-boss Poseidon. So hopefully we get a high-tier froth effect. I would really, really, really appreciate if that were the case, Poseidon. Don't. Oh gosh. Oh no, let me dodge. Oh my goodness. You completely lose your ability to dodge if you get caught in those clouds. Youch. Well, that was my fault. All right, we kill your friends now. You're just about dead, and well, bam. Like,
I'll cost you out each
oh,
time.
and we got the Gorgon Amulet upgraded. It does not recharge its use. A shame. No duo. Let me check something, because let's see. We are looking for Slippery Slope. It is potentially offerable here. So Poseidon is just really, really, really holding out on us. We need Breaker Rush, Floodgate, or Geyser Spout for his legendary. So I think, honestly, as much as I would like to reroll for Froth here, let's take Breaker Rush and hopefully set ourselves up for his duo. Or no, his legendary. So again, we're gonna prioritize Poseidon rooms as much as possible here, but Echo is not bad. Because we just got a Poseidon room, if she gives us boon, 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 we will get another Poseidon boon here, so that's also really good for us. Hello, Echo.
It's been too long.
It's been too long, too long, too long.
Yes, for I have matters not just in the depths of Tartarus, but also far above, on the besieged summit of Olympus, rightful home of Lord Zeus and Queen Hera.
Zeus and Queen Hera, Queen Hera, Queen Hera.
You sound a little uncomfortable about Queen Hera there. Let's see, pom pom pom, boon boon boon, reward, reward, reward. That's the one I want. More Poseidon for me, please.
Farewell, Echo.
Farewell.
Olympus, I accept this message.
And immediately rewarded with his legendary. Our splash effects are larger and deal 3 times the damage to Guardians. Yes, please, and thank you. Now all we need is Froth, and we are basically full build. We have an extremely strong build. We just need a little bit more in the way of Poseidon. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this, and if we get Poseidon, we go this way. We did not. Ooh, this is... I think I go left now. Like, I want that hammer, but we have a chance that we'll be seeing a hammer later on anyway. And the HP, the Palm, and the Ares boon are all quite nice because there are a lot of good supporting Ares boons since his rework that would really bust us up. Mutual Destruction probably being the first thing that comes to mind of just more damage potential. Oh gosh. Oh, I was hopeful that the selecting of that item would give us a brief moment of iframes. I was sadly mistaken and took a hit for it. All right, back to the construction ramble though. So yeah, basically they are massively improving the customization option of the house. The big thing they emphasize here is basically choosing an individual room is not necessarily going to be a thing anymore. You basically get to make rooms and then you fully customize the room to your whims, which sounds a little bit messy considering what it's coming from, but I mean, every other farming sim and farming sims and everything of those nature have been doing this for a long time, and it may lend itself to, there's probably going to be a cap on how many things you can put in your house, especially if you like potentially block pathways that you would otherwise have access to. So there's got to be limitations on where you can put things and like what size of things can go in certain locations. But beyond that, I imagine it's going to be very fun to just kind of make a mess of a house, and I really am excited. They also said you can choose different aesthetics for different rooms. So normally, or at least in the past, the way it worked was, which ones do I want here? I guess I'll take the special up. In the past, the way it worked was if you... Actually, I've completely lost my train of thought, forgive me. So normally, each room has a designated set of furniture that you could build in it in the past. That was how it has always worked. Now it's, oh, right, now I remember what I was going to say. So they're going to let you kind of cut, each room can have a different aesthetic. In the past, you had to choose one overarching theme to your house. So desert themed or undead themed or anything in between, or just like white marble themed, etc. And now they've made it so that you could have kind of mix and matching in each of the individual rooms, which I think is really cool. Rallying Cry is not even close to being an option. Profuse Bleeding, we don't have a way of inflicting wounds, do we? I don't think so, no? No, we don't. So, none of these are really good. This is not going to keep me alive against Kronos, but may help me elsewhere, I suppose? Is there anything worth re-rolling for here, I guess is really the important question. I don't have any wounds, so I can't build around wounds. I assume that means we're locked out of his legendary. Yeah, we need his attack or his special, as well as one of his tier 2s for that. Mutual Destruction, I don't think we have yet. But honestly, Cut Above would probably be the best option here. I don't think it's worth re-rolling since there's not a lot to gain, so I'll take Blood Spree, but I'll say Blood Spree really isn't going to do very much for us, I imagine. Or I just hold out. There's no way I'm going to get another 4 Earth Boons by time we see the final boss, so I'll just take Blood Spree. All right, what are we getting now? Poseidon. Ooh, Guaranteed Poseidon or Shop. I think I just take the Guaranteed Poseidon because that's really what we're looking for here. But yeah, just the notion that they're trying to massively increase the customization, I think will be a combination of things are going to get really ugly really fast and really cool really fast for those who are skilled at what they do. There it is at long last, Slippery Slope. So when hit, afflicted foes have a 25% chance to take an extra 60 damage. That'll be pretty darn great for us. Would have loved to see a higher chance of Froth damage, but we just need this to get his duo with Hestia, which is going to benefit our DPS substantially because it's basically another application of its separate Froth. All right. So I'm going to focus on boss fight here just out of fear of, oh my goodness, how do I dodge this? Oh dearie me. Just immediately taking a ton of damage both ways. Look at all the damage we are dealing. Like, this is what happens when Poseidon is scaled up. And we do have a very rapid hitting build, so anytime we are dealing Froth damage to enemies, we can so easily apply Froth because we're just hitting things so quickly. All right, where are you, big boy? There's our big doggo friend.
Down to his final coat.
Ow. Yeah, I still don't really know how to dodge Cerberus's attacks effectively well. But on the bright side, I don't need to if I'm just gonna massively DPS him like this. Where are you, dog? Where are you, dog? There you are. We'll just take this opportunity for free damage. Sure, why not? And we'll just keep our distance, and there we go. Yeah, we get Origination going with Scorch on him, and then just melt him with Froth.
Even the hottest flames can be extinguished, though the three-headed guardian of hell could always summon more.
Yeah, and not to mention with his legendary, we are just melting bosses with our DPS right now. We get Vent, I think it's called. No, we get Steam from Hestia's duo with Poseidon.
The fear-invoking greater demons that took hold of Cerberus have scattered into dark recesses, terrified perhaps by the sheer might of our princess.
And we are
I
set.
don't even really mind the heat.
I feel like this is a very good representation of the biggest limitation of Poseidon is Poseidon on his own and as a supporting god is not very good, but when you build around Poseidon, he melts things. He does that, especially on these like rapid attacking boons. Like Poseidon is amazing on the torches. Pretty much every god is amazing on the torches, except for maybe Ares, I guess. All right, let's heal up. Let's see. I don't need Gorgon Amulet. I think we definitely take Knucklebones here. We're going in blind on a new boss. That's gonna be difficult. And then, wow, could sell King Tide, but why would I? Like, these are some of our best boons that we have, and they're telling us to sell them. No, thank you, sir. I will take the HP. I think that's fine. We'll take the HP here for more coin.
Unseen.
All right, Kiwi, place your bets. Will we see the Poseidon Hestia duo by the end of this run? The odds are not in our favor because it's my odds, and my odds are never good, but we'll see.
5 chambers left.
But, I mean, the other big thing that I want to recognize is that the other big thing I want to recognize here is that one of the other updates is that they're increasing the number of type of construction materials you can use, and that will vastly alter the aesthetic of the things you can build. So normally, old construction only had effectively 4 buildable wood types and then some like gold trim and marble blocks and other things that could kind of up your variability, but there was a fairly finite number of aesthetic choices you could make for your house, and beyond those you kind of really don't have a lot in the way of customization. They are now increasing it to I think at least 8 different types of logs that you can use to build various structures within your house, which means the color palette, the aesthetic, there's going to be so much more you can do with the system that already kind of exists but is getting now massively updated. It's very exciting to look forward to.
Watchdog Cerberus regards the princess with his 6 expectant eyes.
At the dog for good RNG.
Don't snap my head off, boy.
All right, parents. What would I want from you guys today? Unseen Ire would be pretty good, or just the healing boon I won't say no to.
At last you returned, daughter. I was once accustomed to your absence, but more recently less so.
What your father means is, now that we see you more often, it's never enough. Though don't come visiting on our account. We know you've been pulled in a lot of different directions lately.
Well, it's really only the 2, but yes. These past nights I've been traveling toward Olympus more. Have you been able to stay in touch with the others throughout all this?
I would argue at least 3, considering we did enter a new realm through Hypnos' dreams. I imagine we shouldn't tell them about Hypnos' dreams, but I would love to see some dialogue about it because I just can't imagine what Hades would think if we told him we saw Hypnos and he had like a cardboard cutout Angie Hades picture in his dreams.
We are in contact with Olympus, yes. They have their own matters to resolve as we have ours, but we have agreed to redouble our efforts to maintain clearer communication channels from now on.
All right, Gigaro's Dash is actually fantastic. It's one of their best boons. Old Grudge only helps us for the first phase, which doesn't matter too much. Cinerary Circle, I am burning through magic very quickly, but I feel like it's very situational, and Cronus is going to be moving a lot, so I'll take Gigaro's Dash, honestly. This will make it so that we deal 30% more attack and special, and it lasts for 10 seconds, so I only have to tag him once with it, which I'll inevitably do every time I'm trying to dash through his attack. So yeah, Gigaro's Dash it is. Not going to complain about that. It's a little bit more risk reward than I would like for a build where I'm kind of focused on long range projectiles, but again, that DPS up is nothing to laugh at. 30% more when we're critting, mind you, is a lot of damage. It's 30% more on top of 300, or 200% more, so 3 times damage with a 30% increase. Assuming that damage calculation works out that way. Hades both 1 and 2 damage calculation is maybe a little bit confusing to say the least. There's another Hestia room. Do I reroll for Poseidon here? No, I won't, because Hestia can offer their duo, and she has a bunch of other tier 2s that I would love. Probably for survivability, best option would be her Scorch gives you dodge chance sort of boon, and I certainly won't say no to that if it's offered. Not if it's offered over their duo, but let's see what we get.
You there, Homer?
Such wondrous spectacle.
Okay. So we definitely reroll here. None of these are super appealing.
Something else.
Did we get the oh, there it is, Hot Pot. Gain a chance to dodge, which is doubled against Scorch afflicted foes. So a 10% dodge chance on top of Divine Dash giving us iframes and Hasty Retreat giving us an 8% dodge chance. So we are at base a 18% dodge chance, which is just about the same as our crit chance. So not going to complain about that. Effectively a 1 in 5 chance to dodge all damage as long as they're scorched, which is pretty reliably going to be happening at this point. I'm always going to have my Omega special going, and I'm always going to have Smoldering on the field. So yeah, pretty awesome. Where are you? There you are. And look at our DPS. Like, it's not burst, I would say, but it's very, very consistent, constant DPS that kind of almost feels bursty because there's just so much of it. And again, with Grizzly Gain, we're now at like a 17% attack speed buff, 23%. So we're just going to be attacking faster and faster, applying all of those Poseidon waves faster and faster. Attacks split. I guess I'll take that at this point because I don't need the Omega special. I don't need special bonuses. I guess Rising Helix isn't bad here. It feels kind of boring. We're gonna go for the split and see how it works. And we get more. Is that Flux? No, that's not. Coin. I mean, coin is cool if we get offered a Poseidon boon or a Hestia boon later on. Almost considering re-rolling here though. Now, there are some icky things. Like, I don't want palms necessarily, which is what we get. I'll roll one more time, and we get a. I don't actually know how I feel about this. I guess support boon, if we get the HP up from Aphrodite, that would give us a lot of survivability. Hestia still has very good tier 2s as well, so I guess I can't complain here, I suppose.
I love it.
Wispy Wiles, more dodge chance, or Secret Crush. Secret Crush would be so weird. These are all like absolute S+ boons for our build. Let's see, 15% more HP from 300 would be effectively, I want to say, like 45 HP. I think. Don't quote me on that because we all know how my math skills play out in these games, but 45 more HP is a huge amount of survivability. This is a huge amount of DPS up on a rapid attacking boon, and then this would give us 4% dodge chance. Okay, so that's not as amazing as I hoped it to be. It's going to be between these two, survivability or damage. And like I said before, I feel like damage is honestly more valuable here, and we have plenty of magic to prime, so I'm going to go with that.
Won't do for all the rest taking old Hestia for a pushover in matters such as this. So I've got to burn you up a bit.
Sounds good, Hestia. As long as you give me a good boon afterwards, you can burn me all you want, although preferably you don't, because I would like to have more HP going into this boss fight than not. Granted, oh my goodness, that, well, in classic fashion, these enemies that my brain just does not cooperate with have absolutely melted my HP. Wait, that's the end of that? Hopefully. Nope, there's another one. Okay. Well, this is going extraordinarily poorly, Kiwi. Unfortunate. Alright. I just need to keep my distance and we're fine. The problem I had was I was walking face first into the projectiles and getting hit by all of them in rapid succession. Alright, that should be it. Nope, there's one more. Alright, playing it a little bit safe. There's still more enemies, my gosh. Not a fan of this, actually. This is kind of rough. I will say the Poseidon dash comboed with the Hestia cast don't synergize very well because the dash pushes enemies out of the cast ring. So if I dash into an enemy to then drop my cast on them, like that happens and they get blasted away. It's fine though. Okay, that has to be it, right? Wow, that was actually a really rough room for us.
Play with fire and you get yourself burned. It's just as simple as that, unless I say otherwise.
All right, Hestia, you made your point. You also gave us Snuffed Candle, so I guess I can't complain. 21% more single target damage is busted. All right, I will take the risky play here and go for the extra money.
This does not belong to you.
Because I think we're going to melt enemies extremely fast here, as long as they don't have shields that block our front-facing damage. Okay, a little awkward, but only lost 4 coin. Not bad at all. So I guess we're coming up towards the end of the run, so if I were to summarize, massively increased customization in the player-owned house front of things, hopefully an increased social aspect, although I don't really know what their plans for that are, because they're keeping their plans pretty tight to their chest. But nonetheless, I certainly am looking forward to finding out more, and I only have to wait a week to find out. An update to one of my favorite skills of all time in RuneScape, and Old School. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, that was one of the coolest things coming into Old School after having taken such a long break from it, was Old School had so many quality of life buffs to construction. It was just an amazing thing to discover. Like, they made the player-owned house basically a necessity for both PVMing and skilling, honestly. Certainly more so PVMing, but like, I would be I mentioned in the last episode, I adore the farming skill and love tree runs and herb farming runs, and I had to depend on another player's player-owned house for the longest time just to be able to reliably, like, consistently and efficiently do my farm runs. And now I have a maxed out house for everything that I care about, and there is just so much teleportation option. Like, one of the biggest things in RuneScape is mobility, and anything that increases your ability to efficiently traverse the world. We are at a 60% move speed and attack speed buff, like, wowzers. Anything that increases, like, I mean, RuneScape, you're gonna hear it whenever you watch any sort of guide around RuneScape. Anything to increase efficiency is the thing that RuneScape players, especially late game players or the players that have been playing RuneScape forever, are always going to talk about. Efficiency, 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 doing things in the fastest, most effective way possible. And the player-owned house is a hub of efficiency in old school RuneScape. And I hope to a degree that is the case for RuneScape 3 as well, but only time will tell, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing what they do with that skill. All right, moment of truth. Do we see Hestia? Do we see Poseidon? Either of them could give us what we want. It's a mystery boon. All odds are there, I suppose. Let's grab this first. I'll go ahead and put this on. Honestly, Slippery Slope getting brought up to 50% activation chance is really cool. We'll take that. We are missing a lot of HP going into this tier 5, this chrono, so...
My regards.
Oh, Ares, how good of you to show up. I guess I'll take Mutual Destruction for the crit chance. We are in a bad spot here, though. I have to play super safe for the first 2 phases of Chronos, because I at least know what those are, but this is a little scary, admittedly. Well, again, oh, I like their little construction signs here. That's very cute. All right, so Kiwi, keep in mind that this is my first time ever fighting Vow of Rivals 3 Chronos outside of the time I presume we fought him in the finale of the story where we like eradicate or dissolve time. Why? Okay, so here we go. Wish me luck. Really wish we had Hestia Poseidon duo, because that would have been the icing on the cake of this run. But all right, Charon, give us good RNG, please.
Salutations.
He tells us to be quiet. Here we go, Kiwi.
Time to go.
Time to die. I'm going to be very sweaty, and I'm going to be very focused here, I think.
Oh, hello.
Unrivaled prowess. Fulfill the prophecy, unrivaled prowess.
Not again.
Odd. All of this looks entirely the same, and so do you, Titan. I had expected that perhaps this night had something new for me in store.
Oh, do not sound so disappointed, granddaughter. If you wish for me to muster some newfangled trick of mine in order to enliven these proceedings, I am happy to oblige.
I am going to presume that the first 2 phases will be more difficult as well, but the 3rd phase is really going to put my money where my mouth is, I suppose. Here we go. Chronos Titan of Time. Charge up Omega special immediately and drop in a Smolder Ring.
We play to win.
All right, Ares, what does that mean? I guess Mutual Destruction activated, maybe? Oh, when his allies die, they drop AoEs. Wild. And he's constantly summoning them in. Love that for us. Oh, and he's got a double-sided effect here. Interesting. All right, doesn't look like those are, I guess, only the initial enemies. Nope, they do pop. Okay. Oh gosh, oh, that's 35 damage. Okay. I should just be focusing my DPS on him as much as possible here. We have the DPS, if nothing else. Oh, he absolutely faked me out there and threw it in a different direction from where I expected. I don't know if that's just I messed up or if that was intentional. Oh, here it comes again. Okay, was able to dodge through that using my cast. Okay, there we go. Phase 1 done. Just tank all of those projectiles. I want to celebrate. Are we starting with your instant kill move? Cool. Some free damage. Works for me. What? Did he cancel it? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get hit by that every time, aren't I? Alright. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that was scary. I think we phased him so it wouldn't have actually activated, but I'm not 100% sure there. I'm super sketched out by this. He is dropping these slowdown spheres all over the place, and it's a very big trouble for me. Alright, thankfully we're killing his healing things very quickly. Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, I ran back into it. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. So we're almost there. I really just have to focus on DPSing him. If I DPS him, I'm much more likely going to win than not.
Even now,
all right, here we go, Kiwi.
Withstood the gods, even the fates. If you would deign to bring me low, how dare you? How dare you?
I feel like it's appropriate to make a dad joke here, so I great deign to bring you low. Woof. I don't know, it's not that funny. All right, here we go. Yep, this is the setting from the... Oh, listen to that music. All right, we just focus on dodging this, I think. Oh, lasers everywhere. Okay. Cronus, when are you gonna show up? Big AoE, dodge through that. Oh, there's a laser. We only can survive maybe 2 or 3 hits.
You.
Me. Us. Together forever. Now and again. Oh gosh, almost dashed into that. He does not have a lot of HP in this phase, I have noticed. He's summoning clones. Okay, are you invulnerable? You're invulnerable, so I focus on dodging here.
What now?
What now? I don't know. You tell me. I am learning. Oh my goodness, he attacks so fast. He's got the attack speed steroid now. All right, there's third phase. Okay, I think we're doing this. I think we have plenty of damage to make this happen. Oh, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. I don't know how that didn't hit me there. Okay, he's got giant AoEs. My gosh. All right, we're doing this again. We're doing this again. Okay, that's fine. I can actually tag you with some damage if I'm lucky. Oh my goodness, he is a zoning master.
Preposterous.
I'm glad that I can actually DPS him here a little bit. All right, I think we've got him. He's just gonna stand still. Okay, there we go. Vow of Rivals 4 complete for the first time.
You accursed fates.
A hot and steamy Poseidon Hestia adventure with featuring Ares.
Death to Kronos.
He says that so happily.
Time cannot be.
All right, Kiwi, there we go. Our first ever Underworld Vow of Rivals 4 complete, and it was only a little scary.
Fool, I said.
But we sure did have a very strong run. So let's just on the base, 11 plus the 3% from Artemis gave us a solid 14% crit chance, which is incredibly powerful. Not to mention we got Mutual Destruction, which gave us a 25% crit chance. That is not considered a crit. So this crit could also crit, increasing our damage by 400%, 5 times extra damage if it activates together. But at minimum, assuming this is additive, we had at least a 1 in 3 chance of dealing triple damage. Then we get all of the buffs that we had to attack speed, the dodge chance, the bonus damage to our splash effects, and we were just rolling in the DPS. So Aspect of Malinoe, any torch, all of the torches in this game are amongst my favorite weapons. I'm still kind of getting used to Supai, I guess. Like, I'm not sure where my opinion on that one stands, because again, its early game feels pretty darn weak. But in every other aspect, my goodness, I had a build theory and it worked exactly as well as I had hoped. And then we just had Aphrodite here being the amazing support goddess that she is. Like, what do I even say other than we had an extremely strong build, not to mention Hestia giving us that 21% extra damage. Yeah, we lost most of our HP trying to get there, but and then dodge chance, we had 10 plus the Hermes boon, so we had 20% dodge chance, 30-something% crit chance. What a strong build, and not a surprise that Poseidon waves were the bulk of our damage, but what a run. What a good way to experience Vow of Rivals 4 on the Underworld.
More of this sand.
And I definitely think I am overall getting way more consistent with at least Vow of Rivals Hecate. Cerberus and Scylla definitely need practice.
Not even deathless gods are able to entirely withstand the sheer relentless force of time. And yet upon this night, the Princess of the Dead has seemingly achieved exactly that.
But with that all said,
I know something of time by now.
we're gonna head back into town. I think that's where I'll leave it for my construction ramble. Basically, I am very excited to see where this update takes us, and I will probably do a before and after on my house tour on RuneScape 3 for nostalgia's sake, if nothing else. I should probably record that sooner than later, because once the update goes through, a lot of things are going to change very quickly, and I don't think I'll be able to have any, like, this is what it used to look like, because they are completely reworking how rooms work from the sounds of it. They said the furniture will remain, but the rooms will be very much different.
Having resolved her family's blood feud, now the princess has scarce anything to do except to call this one a night, and on the next, give the rekindled blood feud yet another go.
Return to Shadow now?
That was actually one other thing that I forgot to mention. They are making it so you can find recipes for like blueprints, I suppose, by doing other skilling things.
Good enough.
Or depending on your game progress, you can find new blueprints. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works too.
We really showed him, didn't we, Freenos?
Because if there's one thing my brain loves, which you probably know by now, is a completionist checklist of things to do.
Hades was so luxurious. Nice to have your own space, though.
There was a while where I was going for the completionist cape in RuneScape 3. I kind of petered out because there are just some very, like, time-gated things that require daily input, and...
You deign to look upon me, witch! I shall haunt your every waking moment!
Please do, we love your company, Dora. Dora.
Take care of the tent.
Had a brief moment of, did I mean to say Dusa? No, I meant to say Dora.
Another prophecy.
Unrivaled prowess. The daughter of the god of the dead shall be... Behold the full power of the vow of rivals and the oath of the unseen. By vanquishing the first set of guardians, she shall expose the next. Plus 8 testament.
So it is written.
Plenty of options to upgrade our weapons then, I suppose.
I'll just clean this up.
I do appreciate, I'm now realizing that Eris does not show up here after we do an Underworld run, and it tends to only show up here after we do an Overworld, which makes sense because we are sending her back to the crossroads every time we beat her.
I always liked it here, and the Shades don't seem to mind.
We certainly don't mind either, Artemis. You're welcome to visit anytime you want. Thanks for showing up on that last run, by the way, making our gimmick crit build even more gimmicky. All right, another shadow, another... Ooh, what's this? Gathering of subterranean riches. Enhance Grave Thirst to also unearth gems whenever you vanquish guardians. You can access the vast and hidden wealth of the underworld through a certain birthright helps. We will gladly go ahead and grab ourselves some...
Ordering this.
Faith Fabrics? I think I need 5, but I'll get 6. Because I want to make a shadow extraction happen here too. So here we go. Gathering of... we already read that, so let's go ahead and make that.
Arms of night, draw out the riches of the earth.
Your intent was true.
Yes, I want more money, thank you. All right, and now let's do a shadow concoction, or maybe I should start, you know what, I should probably start cooking more animal crackers so that we can upgrade our pets, because I haven't done that at all. Let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna need a bunch of them anyway.
Power to change. Bubble away.
I must say, you've been putting our old cauldron to good use. I see and sense the changes in this place. Changes for all our betterment, not just your own.
A proper incantation's never to be used for selfish gain. Though, if I can help bring about positive change from which I benefit, isn't that selfish still?
You can be selfish while also helping other people. I think at the end of the day, if someone's being helped, they're going to be thankful for that, as long as it's actual help that they want, mind you. And even if the motives aren't true, at the end of the day, if someone is receiving someone else's charity, they're not going to want to give it up. Just, I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's one of those moral gray zones where, in some instances, receiving charity, no matter the motive, someone is probably going to be thankful for it. But certainly those with a moral compass who are uncomfortable with how that charity is received, I certainly could have qualm with it. It's one of those very interesting kind of moral gray zones of is it okay to accept charity from someone if the intent behind that charity is kind of let's say, icky for lack of a better word, and I think it's ultimately the recipient's decision to accept or deny depending on their individual circumstances.
Discard such doubts as that. You are not thinking solely of yourself, thus you are not thinking selfishly. I've not taught you to neglect your needs, have I?
Of course not.
Then good.
I mean, another important thing to acknowledge here is that sometimes being selfish, prioritizing yourself in the sake, it helps you take better care of others. I mean, compassion fatigue, emotional fatigue, that is absolutely something that exists for any caregiver's kind of. Oh, hey, Moros.
Disturbing, isn't it?
Compassion fatigue and caretakers fatigue are real things. They're things that Kiwi and I have absolutely had to experience in our lifetime with our parents and their medical situations.
Stay strong, my friends.
Apollo must be even better. He taught her, didn't he? Dying wish Elysium. Sorry, bud. Doesn't look like you made it there.
This one's on behalf of the Shades you recently invited to the Crossroads, Goddess. You've invigorated our ranks with these new recruits who seem generous. Here.
Nectar bottles, thank you. All of you. I wonder where they found these. Though can think of several acquaintances who would likely enjoy them.
A good, like, 20 plus of them, even.
Aye, we figured you'd put them to good use.
Ought to admit it when I'm wrong. Never thought you'd get to Kronos in the first place. Before I did, anyway. Much less beat him down repeatedly. So, I was wrong.
Much less beat him on Vow of Rivals 4, even. I never thought I'd see the day where Nem apologized.
Nemesis, I want you to know it was astonishing to hear those words coming from you just now. It seems we're each more than capable of surprising the other. But mainly, thank you.
I would genuinely love a boss fight where we fight Nem, where we together with Nem fight Kronos. I think that would be so cool.
No need. Fair is fair. Had my chances to catch up with you, but couldn't get through all the pitfalls in the way. Might be I could have taken Kronos too, but now I'm not so sure.
I feel like not an escort mission, but kind of like just a co-op mission where you get like a player 2 to play as Nem and just fight alongside you through the underworld. I would love to see that.
Now don't lose heart. There's much left to be done, and we need all your strength and vigilance. We're the unseen. Together we prevail, or we fail.
Prevail or fail? Okay then.
Couldn't resist giving one of your pep talks, huh?
Prevail or fail,
No.
prevail or fail, prevail or fail. And now Nem hates us again. Excellent. Alrighty, Kiwi. I think that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me on my construction talk. But let's call it an episode. It's gone long enough.
The grave thirst aura is even stronger now.
That's me, mamma mia. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, this is something I realized. We have not done a single aspect of Persephone run. Your Omega Special is sprouted and lets you change direction. Boons start with increased level, starting with level 2.
Grant me the aspect of my mother.
Your mother. God save the queen. All right, let's go ahead and level this up one. If I can. I level it up from here, right? There we go. Level 2.
Reveal your secrets.
All right, that's as far as I'll take it. It gives us +3 levels. Is that how it works?
Revol?
Yeah. +3 max random bonus level for boons, +3. Life and death forever embodied in a queen, both splendorous and dark at once. Sounds like Kiwi. Splendorous and dark indeed. All right, so I actually have, even in my passive experiences in this game, oh, we turned into a giant head. That's weird. Look at that. I don't actually know how Aspect of Persephone works, so I'm gonna do a little bit of reading between episodes. But with all that said, Kiwi.
You did it, by the way, kiddo. Any idea how many times you killed me now? Think big.
Over 100 times.
Well, if you mean from the very start, it must have been 1,000 times at least since I was little. I've been striking you since I could barely hold a blade.
Well, I just meant more recently, where it was closer to 35, but I like the gusto with which you responded, young one.
You said that if you reached some sort of death threshold, it would be beneficial to your military service.
Yeah, I get a special discount now.
On what?
That's classified.
What are you buying, Skelly?
Not quite as damp as Oceanus here, is it?
My good shade?
Hello again, good shade.
Alright, Kiwi, with all that said, thank you for watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you are sleeping, I hope you are sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one for our first ever Persephone run.
Let us continue.
Let us continue indeed, Skelly. Good night, Kiwi!